The media really wish that the whole debate over critical race theory would just go away.
State after state, Fox News and Republicans, conservatives have whipped up a moral panic about so-called critical race theory.
This is just the latest outrage device over at Fox, is it not?
A bad faith effort by Republicans to make critical race theory a wedge issue.
By the way, critical race theory is enormously useful. It's a graduate level construct. It's not taught in K through 12.
And again, it is not being taught in grade schools.
No one is teaching critical race theory K through 12.
Just to be clear, can you just repeat it? It is a law school text. What is critical race theory?
What is critical race theory? I suspect it's not as major an issue as we've made it out to be in the media.
What even is critical race theory? Nobody knows. It's too high level. What is anything? Seriously, it's like they're scared to admit it even exists. And did I hear Chris Hayes say so-called critical race theory? Chris, the right didn't come up with that name. The academics you're defending did. You see what they're doing here, right? They're basically defining critical race theory as this extremely niche, high-level academic theory so they can claim that kids aren't learning it in school. But they can define it however they want, but to the average person, critical race theory is a catch-all term for all the familiar 1619 Project type ideas. White privilege, institutional and structural racism, the idea that America is inherently racist, you get the idea. Are kids being taught that in school? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. Joy Reid may not think so, but the teachers sure do.
Racism is systematic, so it's impossible to be systematically racist to white people in an American society.
Teaching that systemic racism exists isn't in itself a racist practice. That is the first step toward healing, which this country desperately needs.
I am part of the equity and racial justice team at my school district and have been mentoring students of color who have been leading these changes in our district. They have implemented new curriculum that is unwhitewashed.
These children's quote-unquote history books are so problematic. When kids learn about the American Revolution, we learned about one black man on the front of the book and everybody else in here is white. Even though I'm a kindergarten teacher, I am very active in education reform.
In honor of the anniversary of George Floyd's death, let's have a hot take on education. Let's talk about how schools marginalize African-American students.
There is going to be a right side of history and a wrong side of history. When you stay out of it, you're on the wrong side.
Huh. Sure sounds like they're talking about critical race theory. Maybe Chris can have one of them on his show to explain to them how that's not actually what they're doing. Until that happens, though, consider doing your own research into what a bunch of suits on TV try to tell you about the world. And, hey, maybe consider skimming through your kids' textbooks when they get home from school. Also, we don't usually do this, but big shout out to the Twitter page Libs of TikTok. They're the ones who found all those horrifying clips of teachers.